Hello guys. Today I'm going to talk about config block in an agent script. So in the last two video, first we talked about introduction to agent script, and in the second video we talked about system block in an agent script. As you know, right, like agent script is you can say like you can divide it into several blocks. One of them was system block, which we understand. Basically, it has instruction which you can consider like agent level instruction, right? And then you can override it on the sub agent level. Whereas you have config block, and then you have sub agent block, variable blocks, connections block, data blocks. So we will go through this one by one. So in this video, we are going to talk about config block. So uh, I'm going to show you a variation of that, like what each uh, property within the config block means, why they are used for, right? So let us start. So basically, I have just like commented it out here, like what are the different properties first supported in an config block. We will see one by one, and then we will see the different variations. What will happen if we remove something, or what based on what value agent changes its behavior. So we are going to understand that in detail. So first one is the developer name. So any agent we are going to create using Agentscript needs like it needs a developer name, and that should be unique. So it's like common across the Salesforce. Any metadata should have a developer name, and same type of metadata cannot have two elements with same developer name, right? Like you cannot have two fields with same developer name, API name on an object, right? So that's where developer name is needed. The maximum character is 80, 80 it supports, and there is like rule. So it can only starts with the letter, and only letter, number, underscore, no trailing or consecutive underscores are supported, right? So this is where like I am just given config system showcase. Let's say if I remove this and keep it like this, does it save? If I try to save it, it won't save. You see, it given me the problem. So the problem is invalid input for config, and basically it's looking for this regex pattern. So make sure like you're giving a proper input name. It can have like this, it can have like this, but not, it cannot have a space. So that was the first thing. Second thing is agent label. So agent label is just like used for a display name on the UI. It's not always mandatory. Like even if you don't provide an agent label, the Agentforce will like automatically generate it based on the developer name. So for example, if you see, right, I have given agent label as config and system showcase, and that's what like it is displaying me this name over here. Even though you take this out, or let me just comment it out and try to save it, and let me refresh it, right? So if you see, even though I have like commented it out agent label, it compiles fine. And you see, right, the display name was auto generated based on the developer name. So that's what like agent label is for. Next is default agent user. So default agent user is does play a very important role when, like, as we all know, there are several types of Agentforce. So we have an employee agent, we have an service agent, and there are several other types like for sales coach, and that's called lead nurturing agent. And then you have for emails, for Slack, for service assistant, for field service. There are various kind of agent we can have in Salesforce, right? For employee agent, agent runs in the current user context. It means whoever as an internal user into Salesforce logged in, right? Employee agent will consider that user as a default user of the agent. Whereas in service agent, you need to provide a default agent user. So that is it's significant. Why? Because like your service agent can run in guest mode, right? So it should, and in Salesforce, it needs a user to run it. Even all the site guest, like all the site who are public have a site guest user. So similar to that in Agentscript also, you can consider that as like a common user who will be used to provide any kind of permission or access level check for an agent deployed on a public website. So that's for default agent user. Next is description. So Description tells about like what is the agent goal and purpose. You can, as a parameter, you can write description, or also you can write like agent description. Both is fine. Like right now agent script can take both. Let me save this. So it still works. Let me switch to canvas. You see, right? Let me refresh once. So okay, I think it doesn't show up there, but it works. So if I save like this and go to canvas, so whatever I given is coming, but yeah, still like agent description also works in the background. Only thing is it doesn't show up on the canvas. Then again, description is an important property. You must give that, right? Which tells like the LLM that what's the agent goal and purpose is. Okay. In the past, when you were using legacy agent builder, so whenever you were creating any new agent, you had to provide a company and role, which is used to like add the persona. So your agent is part of which company. So LLM can just take the context like as a persona, like while answering the questions asked by user, right? So it helps them. But these are optionals now. It's up to you whether you want to add it, a company information and the role information. These are optional now, so no need to worry about that. And agent version is again like it. So agent version in an agent script is important. We all works in like we all works with a big team generally. Like if you're working for enterprise customer, there are so many developers working at the same time, right? So let's say on an agent there are 5 developers working on 5 different sub agent or 5 different functionality together. How will you like make it viable? Like if there is no versioning in agent script, it would be very hard, right? So that's where agent version is important, but again it's optional. Even though you don't mention it in the config, it's fine. Internally Salesforce manage it. So if it is version 1, it will have like a 1 2 like that. Next is agent type. So it's important. Like if it is an service agent, you should provide that, right? And by default, if you are not providing that, like let's say I'm just going to comment it out, right? Let's say I'm going to comment it out and save. So automatically when you are not providing the agent type, then it will consider as default as service agent. So that's where like, and if you provide it service agent, then it will consider it as service agent. If you provide it as employee agent, it will consider it as employee agent. If you do not provide it, the agent compiler will treat it as service agent, and then you need to pass a default agent user log. This parameter is used to like if you say yes to this, it will enable better event logging into the agent force, right? Agent force traceability. I'm going to like make it little big if you are finding it hard. Yeah. And then last one is user locale. So user locale is also very important, right? Like let's say you are a enterprise company working in various country. So your customers are from different region, different, they are speaking different languages, right? So it's important to understand what is the user locale, and based on that you can define the agent behavior. So this is also optional. Now what we are going to do is we are going to understand the different variation. But yeah, bare minimum is like at least you should have a developer name, label, agent type, and description. Right now in this case I have mentioned agent force employee agent. That's why I have not passed the default agent user. Let's see the different variation. So this is the bare minimum. If I'm not going to pass anything, let's say I'm not going to pass, I will just delete this, take this out, and keep the config here. So I'm just giving developer name, agent type, and description. So since I passed employee agent, developer name, and description, these three are bare minimum for employee agent. And if it is service agent, we need to pass the agent user. So let's try to save it and preview if it works. So yes, let me say hi, and it is compiling properly fine, and it should return the result. Yep. Now next variation is let's add a same variation, but just like adding agent description, which I think I already covered, showing that to you. If if I'm going to change the service agent, so I'm just going to change it to service agent. Now as soon as I change it to service agent, what it is doing, it is going to give me an error saying default agent user is required, right? So I must pass that. So like some org will have already user created, like they already have created some agent user part of another agent. If you not do that, if you click on save, it will give you an option to do. So in my case, like I have already an agent user. If you do not have, you can just click on save. What it will do is it will create a user behind the scene automatically. And so let me do that. So if I click on save, I said new user, you see, right, it does created a new agent user and automatically added that property here, right? And now it will work. Now it converted to a service agent, and any action, anything, any retriever or any escalation will happen in the context of that service agent user, right? So this we understand the service agent. Now let's add the persona context in the same agent. I'm going to add the description, company and role. So description we already had. I'm going to just comment it out, or take me, let me take this out. Yeah, I added a company and role and just save it. So even without that it works, but yeah, like you can add it. It's an option if you want to like add more persona level information into the agent. So if I say hi, it should respond me, what is your company name? Let me see if does it tell us that. Yeah, it doesn't do that, but you can always mention to make it looks better. Next thing is, what if we want to add the all configuration which was supported? So I think I already have all, but these three are missing. So yeah, user locale is deprecated. Okay, so it's now deprecated. Fine. So you don't need to mention it here. It will be, it should be now default. So user locale override. Okay, so it's saying use language block instead. Fine. So there is a separate block for that called language we will use there. So let's avoid this, just keep it till here. So we are saying true and agent version 1. One thing to remember, if you write true in small word, it won't take. So true or false, anything should be like reserved keywords should be like start from capital. So I'm going to save it and run it. Again, I just want to see whether it compiles fine or not. Yeah, it does. What if I mention my agent version as 8? Like I'm just trying to override it from here. Does it? And let me refresh once more. So it doesn't make any impact. But let me do one thing. Let me commit this, and I'm going. Okay. So now, okay, like my org has so many agent and it's a developer agent, so it's giving me an error. That's fine, but you can try this in your org. It should work fine. Yeah, I think these are the different variation. You understand it properly. Why we use config block. Config block is like, think like it's agent metadata. It stores what is the API name, uh, label, and all this kind of information. Who is the default user? What is the type of user? So you can think like it's a place where you store all the setting of your agent, which comes in handy, right? Do let me know in comments if you have any question, what you would like to hear. I will be talking more on other blocks like variable blocks, language block in upcoming videos. So it's a series of video you would be watching. Thank you. Have a good day.